Hello everyone. Today we will discuss Class 8th Geography Chapter 4 Agriculture. Agriculture. Agriculture is a Latin word. First half agri means soil and second half culture means cultivation. By combining these two words, agri and culture, we get agriculture. Think all the ways in which agriculture touches your life. When you woke up in the morning, you might be lying on a cotton bed sheet. The frame of your bed is probably made of wood. These all are agriculture products. You may already know that steak and potatoes are agriculture products. But what about fish? Fish farming, pisciculture is also agriculture. When you think of agriculture, you probably think of people growing crops or raising cow, pig, sheep, chickens on their farm. But agriculture includes much more than that. The people who work in factories, building tractors and other farm machineries play an important role in agriculture. People in universities who research now agriculture product and new ways to grow food. Agriculture is the science and art of cultivation on the soil. Growing crops, vegetables, fruit, flower and rearing livestock. The reason is say science and art because knowing about the soil, climatic condition, the crop pattern, the fertilizers, the way of growing crops, right type of machine is used, allocating specific numbers of people for agriculture work. All this is science and art. Agriculture, also known as farming, it is one of the primary economic activity. What is economic activities? All the activities we do to earn a living are economic activities. The transformation from a plant to finished product involve three types of economic activities. These are primary, secondary, and tertiary activities. Primary activities. All the activities connected with extraction and production of natural resources can be classified under primary activities. These activities provide raw material. Agriculture, fishing, poultry farming, and mining all are primary activities. Secondary economic activities are those involved with the manufacture or processing of natural resources and raw material into finished products, such as cotton is a primary product. By processing, we get cloth. So, manufacturing of steel, baking of bread, and weaving of cloth are the example of these activities. Tertiary activities. All the activities that provide support to the primary and secondary sectors through services are classified under tertiary activities, such as railway, post office, banking, insurance, and advertisement. Suppose if there are no transportation, how will goods reach the market? In terms of primary activity, there are five types of culture. Culture related to economic activity. So they are sericulture, viticulture, pisciculture, horticulture and agriculture. In terms of primary activities,
In
here
terms
are
of
some
primary
other
activities,
activities fall
here are
under
some other
extension and
activities
production
fall
of
under
natural resources.
extraction
We
and
start with
production of natural
sericulture.
resources.
It is a
We start
commercial
with
rearing of silkworm.
sericulture. Sericulture is the process of cultivating silkworms on mulberry leaves and extracting silk from them. Sericulture is very important domestic industries in many countries. India and China are the world's leading producer of silk. Next, we have pisciculture, breeding of fish in specially constructed tanks and ponds. Next, we have viticulture. Viticulture or wine growing is the cultivation and harvesting of grapes. Then we have horticulture, growing vegetables, flowers and fruits for commercial use. Horticulture is the agriculture of plants mainly for food material, comfort and beauty for decoration. Favorable topography of soil and climatic conditions such as temperature, rainfall and humidity are vital for agriculture activity. So, look at the world map. It is a world distribution of arable land. The meaning of arable land is the land on which crops are grown. So, now we are going to read about farm system. Agriculture or farming can be looked at as a system. System, it means it has input, it has output, it processes, it has cycle. The important inputs are seeds, fertilizers, machineries and labor. Then you have processes. Processes, that means we have do with inputs. How do we use it? Plowing, sowing seeds, spraying chemicals, irrigation, weeding and harvesting are the main processes. And finally we have outputs. Output, that means what we gain from entire investment we did. The outputs from the system include crops, wool, dairy products and poultry products.
from agriculture and rearing animals. That was all about farming system. Two-thirds of India's population is still dependent on agriculture. Agriculture has been foundation of Indian economy. 67% population engage in agriculture or agriculture activities. Besides providing food to the growing population, raw material from agriculture also support many of the industries like cotton textile, food processing and handicraft. In the world, 50% of persons are engaged in agricultural activity. Agriculture is one of the most important economic activity and it is essential for sustaining livelihood, securing food production and providing income. So, subsistence farming is a system of farming that provide all or almost all the goods required by the farmer's family, usually without any significant surplus for sale. Majority of farmers in India practice subsistence farming. Traditionally, low level of technology and household labor are used to produce on a small output. Subsistence farming can be further classified as intensive subsistence and primitive subsistence farming. Intensive subsistence agriculture. This type of farming is practiced in area of high population pressure on land due to growing population and right to inheritance. It is labor intensive farming. In, in this agriculture, the farmer cultivate a small plot of land using simple tools and more labor. Where high doses of biochemical inputs and irrigation are used for obtaining higher production. Rice is the main crop. Other crops includes wheat, maize, pulses and oil seeds. Primitive subsistence agriculture. Here primitive means ancient. It is practiced on small patches of land with the help of primitive tools like hoe, dhow and digging sticks and family labor for self-consumption. This type of farming depends upon monsoon, natural fertility of soil and suitability of other environment conditions. Primitive subsistence agriculture includes shifting cultivation and nomadic herding. Shifting cultivation. This is a traditional agriculture practice. Shifting cultivation practiced
in the thickly forested area of Amazon basin, tropical Africa, part of Southeast Asia and Northeast India. These are the area of heavy rainfall and quick regeneration of vegetation. Shifting cultivation is known by different names in different part of the world. Jhuming, Northeast India. Milpa in Mexico, Roca in Brazil, Ladang in Malaysia. What happened in this shifting cultivation? Farmer, first of all, they are going to choose a land and going to clear vegetation, and then once they have cut down trees of that particular chosen piece of area, they are going to burn it. Why do they burn trees? Ashes make the soil fertile. They get nutrients from ashes. After rain, they spread seed in that area. This is grow into crop. After 2 or 3 years, the soil loses its fertility. Then cultivators move to a new plot. This practice is harmful for the forest. When forest was burned, this was added dangerous of the flames spreading and burning valuable timbers and wildlife. Shifting nomadic reading. Ratsmen move from place to place. They move in defined route with their animals for fodder and water. This is due to seasonal changes and terrain. Animals like sheep, camel, yak and goats are reared. They provide meat, milk, wool, hides, etc. to herders and their families. It is mainly practiced in semi-arid and arid regions of Sahara, Central Asia and part of Rajasthan and Jammu Kashmir. Shifting cultivation is also known as slash and burn agriculture. Crops like maize, yam, potatoes and cassava are grown here. Productivity is very low as there is less use of fertilizer and pesticides. Primitive tools are used for cultivation. Commercial farming. In commercial farming, crops are grown and animals are reared for sale in market. Crops are grown on a large scale in a large farms or plantation for commercial purpose and for export to other countries. The area cultivated and the amount of capital used is large. Most of the work is done by machines and latest technology is put to use under this type of farming. Farmers use higher doses of modern inputs, HYV seeds, chemical fertilizers, insecticides and pesticides. Commercial farming includes commercial grain farming, mixed farming, and plantation agriculture.
Commercial grain farming. In this farming, crops are grown for commercial purpose. Only single crop can be grown. Wheat and maize are common commercial grown grains. Major areas where commercial grain farming is practiced are temperate grasslands, prairies of North America, Europe, and Asia. These areas are sparsely populated, with large farms spreading over hundreds of hectares. Survey and extremely cold winters restrict the growing season, and only a single crop can be grown. Mixed farming is another type of commercial farming. Mixed farming is type of farming which involve both the growing of crops and raising of livestock. For example, a mixed farm may grow crops such as wheat and rice and also keep cattle, sheep, pigs and poultry. Often the dung from the cattle is used to fertilize the crop. In this farming, land is used for growing food and fodder crops and rearing livestock. This type of farming is practiced in Europe, Eastern USA, Argentina, Southeast Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa. Plantation agriculture is a form of commercial farming where crops are grown for profit. Large land areas are needed for this type of agriculture. Countries that have plantation agriculture usually experience tropical climate with high annual temperature and receive high annual rainfall. Some of the important plantation crops are tea, coffee, cocoa, rubber, cotton, oil palm, sugarcane, banana, and pineapple. Major plantations are found in tropical region of the world. Rubber in Malaysia, coffee in Brazil, tea in India and Sri Lanka. Organic farming is another type of farming. In this type of farming, organic manure and natural pesticides are used instead of chemicals. This is done when overuse of fertilizer and pesticides become harmful for plant and soil. Major food crops are wheat, rice, maize, millets and pulses. Major fiber crops are cotton and jute. Major beverage crops are tea and coffee. Rice. Rice is the one of the major food crop of the world. It is a staple diet of people of the tropical and subtropical region. Bran and husk obtained from the cultivation of rice is used as fodder and as food. Rice requires high temperature. plus 25 degrees centigrade, high humidity, and rainfall to grow. China is the largest producer of rice, followed by India, Japan, Sri Lanka, and Egypt. Wheat. Wheat is the second main food crop. Its husk is feed to animals. It requires moderate temperature and rainfall during growing season and bright sunshine at the time of harvest. It grows best in well-drained, loamy soil. Wheat producing countries USA, Canada, Argentina, Russia and India. In India, it is grown in winter season. Millets. Millets is a name given to the coarse grain like jowar, bajra and ragi. It is used as food as well as fodder. It can be grown in less fertile sandy soils, need low rainfall and moderate temperature. It requires less fertile and sandy soil. Millets mainly grown in India, Nigeria, China and Niger. Maize. Maize is known as corn or maca. It has many colorful varieties in the world. For growth, it requires moderate rainfall 50 to 100 centimeter and temperature 21 degrees centigrade to 27 degrees centigrade. It requires lot of sunshine during growth. It needs well-drained, fertile alluvial soil. It is mainly grown in North America, Brazil, China, Russia, Canada, India and Mexico. Cotton. Cotton is used to produce cloths. It is a major raw material for the cotton textile industry. It requires high temperature to 21 degrees centigrade and high rainfall 50 to 100 centimeter. It also requires 210 frost-free days and bright sunshine are must during cotton picking days. Black and alluvial soil are best for its growth. Top cotton producing countries are China, USA, India, Pakistan, Brazil and Egypt. In India, cotton is mainly grown in Maharashtra and Gujarat. That's why cotton textile industries has the largest concentration in Mumbai and in Gujarat. Jute fiber. It is also known as golden fiber. Jute is used mainly to make cloths, gunny bags, ropes and mats. It grows well in alluvial soil and require high temperature 30 degrees centigrade and heavy rainfall near about 170 to 270 centimeter and humid climate. It grown mainly in tropical areas. India and Bangladesh are the leading producer of jute. Tea. was introduced in India initially by the British. Tea. Tea cultivation is an example of plantation agriculture. Tea plant grows well in tropical and subtropical climate. It needs warm, moist climate. Heavy and frequent shower rainfall help the growth of its tender leaves. Tea plantations are located in higher land and high slopes where natural drainage is good. Tea plant cannot tolerate stagnant water. Kenya, India, China, Sri Lanka produce the best quality tea in the world. Tea producing states in India are Assam, Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Darjeeling. Coffee. Coffee is a beverage crop grown on plantation agriculture. Actually, coffee bean is a seed inside the coffee cherry. Once the cherry has been picked, processing must be begin as quickly as possible. Coffee requires wet and warm climate. 150 to 250 centimeter rainfall, loamy soil and hill slopes. Coffee. It is mainly cultivated in Brazil, Colombia and India. Here is a small village, Adilabad, in Gazipur district of Uttar Pradesh. Munna Lal is a small farmer in this village who has farmland of about 1.5 hectares. His house is in main village. He purchases HYV seed from the market every alternate year. The land is fertile and he grow at least two crops in a year, which are normally wheat or rice and pulses. The farmer take advice of his friends and elders as well as government agricultural officers regarding farming activities. He takes a tractor on rent for plowing his field. Munnalal also has two buffaloes and few hens. He sells milk in a cooperative store located in the nearby town. He is a member of cooperative society which also advise him on the type of fodder for his animal, safety measure to protect the health of livestock and artificial insemination. Joe Horan, a farmer in the Midwest USA in Iowa State, owns about 300 hectares of land. He grows corn on his field after making sure that soil and water resources meet to the need of this crop. From time to time, he sent the soil sample to a soil testing laboratory to check whether the nutrients are sufficient or not. The result helped Geo Horan to plan the scientific fertilizer program. His computer is linked to the satellite, which give him a precise picture of his field. This helps him to use chemical fertilizer and pesticides whenever they are required. There are three cropping seasons in India: Rabi, Kharif and Zaid. Agricultural development refers to efforts made to increase farm production in order to meet the growing demand of increasing population. This can be achieved in many ways, such as increasing of crop
area, use of high yielding variety HYV seeds, use of fertilizers, mechanization of agriculture, and improved irrigation facilities. The ultimate aim of agricultural development is to increase food security. Food security exists when all the people at all times have access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious food to meet their dietary needs.
Let us understand the concept of farming in India compared to USA. The average size of farm in the USA is much larger than that of an Indian farm. A typical farm size in the USA is about 250 hectares, and less than 3% of US population is involved in farming, whereas the average farm size of India is 1.5 hectares, and about 50% of population is involved in farming. Major food crops grown in India are wheat, rice, millet, pulses, and oil seeds, whereas USA specialized in corn, soybean, wheat, cotton, and sugar beet. Intensive subsistence farming. This is a widely practiced farming technique can be seen all over India. The farmer and his family grow grain for themselves or for sale at the local market, whereas larger holdings are more suitable for commercial agriculture in USA. The farmer in USA work like a businessman, whereas in India all the members of family help in various farm activities. In USA, farmer uses tractor, seed drills, leveler, combine harvester and thresher to perform various agriculture operations. Grain are stored in automated grain storage, whereas majority of Indian farmers do not have storage facility and transport facilities. They are forced to sell the produce in local market.